So I've been thinking since I created the Middlino Spiral Angel Wing for the Creative Edge article, the Sympathy edition for the Florist Review magazine, I thought it's just time to update and give you an upgrade on the Middlino Spiral, the actually Nautilus Spiral, which can be converted to the Angel Wing. So I'm going to give you the instruction from the very beginning, how I do it now. So what you need actually for this one, ingredient-wise, is the Middlino, the Smithers Oasis product, which is, by the way, Italian for rattan. That's what Middlino is. And also the bullion wire, and of course a little bit of bind wire, and the indispensable, the item that we need almost always is the Oasis U-Glue dashes. The tools that, and also the diamond wire. Don't forget the aluminum wire that you need for the spine. And the tools that I'm using is the non-stick titanium scissors for the U-Glue, for cutting U-Glue, and also the Choki scissors, which is really my go-to tool when it comes to cutting almost anything, but also mostly to cut wire of any kind. So I'm going to start out with the Middlino sticks. And I've already sort of selected 40 stems or 40 pieces of Middlino. So I got that already sort of taken out of this bundle, if I can do this. So here we are. So there's 40 counted in there. That's a good start for the size that we're looking for. And when I selected them, I went and looked for nice sturdy pieces that I have already called out anything that was sort of substandard, that was way too thin. So I've already gone through it and selected ones that are really good. So we're going to start with that. And we're also going to start with cutting a piece of diamond wire. I like the diamond wire because I think it's a little bit harder than a standard 12 gauge aluminum wire or 10 gauge. And so I'm going to start with the length of that, and it's just sort of at random because we can add on the length as we need it. So I'm going to start out with a length that seems like doable for me to work with in front of me. And then out of the 40, I'm going to take out maybe just a few handfuls for extension later. And so I'm going to start out with maybe about 35 pieces. So I'm going to start out by kind of straighten that out, but now as I add in the wire, so I'm just staggering it right now so that you got that nice sort of tapered end. You don't have to be too particular, just be aware so that the final look better than that stub end. So this way I can get that kind of a look so that it has a nice taper to it. So what I'm going to do is embed that piece of diamond wire into this by taking a piece of a full tab of U-Glue and just sort of sealing that off in a couple of places. Right here, like this. And I'm going to take those tabs off so it's nice and sticky. And I'm going to start out by adding the bullion wire to just sort of close that off so that it tightens it up to start. Pretty soon it's going to be hard to kind of keep wrapping it around and around, so I'm going to actually cut a piece of the bullion off so it's easier to wind around. So we're still wrapping this. What I'm going to do is just add on a length here that's cut off from the spool so that I can continue wrapping without twirling off of the spool. So I'm gonna go and do this now, but now I'm gonna develop the direction with the wire that follows the wire with three pieces of the Middlino separated like this. So now I'm going to actually start just winding the 3 pieces, it could be 2 or 3 pieces of Middlino to follow along the diamond wire so that it creates a branch that will continue off of. And this is ideal when you have the end kind of right up against your body so that you're able to hold it in place as you wind. So I'm looking at it as it bends, and this is really the key. In some of my previous video that I have put together, I actually didn't have the wire along, which made it so that it was possible for this stem to break very easily. This makes it much sturdier, and it gives you the malleability, the bendability that I want. So now, right about here, I'm gonna try to pick up the Middlino that's right next to it. So this is what I do, is I'm gonna add in that 1 piece of Middlino and maybe wrap 5 times. And then I'm gonna add in another one, spacing that apart and adding in that piece of Middlino and wrap it another 5 times. I want to start to shape this a little bit so you can see how it develops. And then the one next to it, I'm going to bring that up and add in again so that you're starting to get this shaping, this spacing in between the Middlino, each insertion. And again, wrap it 5 times. So you're just going to keep doing this so that you get this sort of a nice graduation, like sequencing of spaces that are very similar. So I ran out of the bullion wire, so what I'm going to do is just go ahead and take a piece of U-glue, attach it to the side, and add on another piece. So I've been just working along here, adding on at similar intervals all the way down. So we're down to the last maybe 10 Middlinos. But at this time, I'm finding that I'm running out of the diamond wire right here. So what I need to do, because what I really want to do is create an extended, very long extended Middlino extender piece that adds on to the spiral. What I'm going to do is add on an extra piece of diamond wire, and I just put a little tab, half a tab of U-glue onto the end of it, and I'm going to just insert this into the middle of this cluster of Middlino right there so that it's stuck in there, so that you get that extension again, so that this whole bundle of Middlino is again being supported by the diamond wire. And then I'm going to just continue adding on. So I just finished inserting the last piece into this main spine, the last piece of Middlino, and I have this still, the ending. So what has to happen now is we want to taper off, and I want to extend this. This is kind of like actually the Middlino extender portion of this. So what I need to do is add in, and that's why we had some of these Middlino set aside, so that we can add in into that cluster some Middlinos to extend all the way to the end and beyond. So I'm going to just start to insert some of those in there so that we have a much longer extended piece that tapers. Because whether you're doing the knotless spiral and you want to create like a wrap around this spiral pieces here, the knotless spiral, or if you want to use it as an angel wing, we really want to finish off with an extender that allows you to tie in at various spots back into that spiral so you can get a beautiful shape that you want to design into, whether it be for a hand-tied bouquet or, like I say, for the angel wing. Same technique for either, is that we want to sort of taper off to a nice, thinner extension. You can see that there's a spot where it reduces down, but it goes from multiples to a couple. So what we want to do is perhaps add in a little extra here again, so that you have a little bit more of an extension that you can reduce it down at the end. So you can see how this is shaping up. See how it's getting like from thick to thinner and thinner? Well, it looks as if there's 3 extended pieces that are long and there's nothing in between. I want to make this a little bit more of a taper. So I'm going to add in another piece like this. And actually, I'm going to kind of cut it off so that it tapers a little bit better. Add in another piece into that mix again so that you get that nice taper. So now we have it tapering all the way down and we're ready to finish it off. So you can see how the extended point, the tip that I was working on, how it sort of tapers off really nicely from this beautiful spiraling pieces right down to that real tip that's also all wired all the way through with diamond wire, so it's malleable. So if we're wanting to use this as like an angel wing, it's possible to kind of shape this in such a way so that it becomes that angel wing, 1/2 of an angel wing like this. Or if you want to use it as part of a bouquet and you want to create a wonderfully spiraling, beautiful movement into your bouquet, what we're going to do is just take a little bit of bind wire so we can get some different shapes happening here, so you can see its possibility as far as the creative goes. So what we're going to do is maybe shape it in such a way so that we're going to create almost like a funnel kind of a look. So I'm going to just take the bind wire and just tie it right there, for example, like that. And then maybe this one here could be brought in so you get kind of that sort of a double kind of a look. So you can actually maybe attach it to a spot here. I'm going to take another bind wire and attach it there, so that it's having that little extender go much longer makes it possible to shape this into a more interesting form that can be used maybe into a bouquet or into an arrangement. It's all pliable so that anything is possible. So it's up to you to get creative with it and to use it in an arrangement of your choice. So if you enjoyed this video and got a lot out of it, make sure to like it, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.